Okay, you already know what type of episode this is gonna be. Whew! Let's talk about this week. Let's talk about what's going on with each other. Let's get into it. Hello. What's up, y'all? Thank you for tuning in to Soulcast. This is a podcast where we allow the soul to broadcast information, knowledge, wisdom, quotes, opinions, and so much more. Reminding everyone who is listening that this is only, and I mean only, for informative purposes. I only speak from my own experiences, okay? What is spoken on Soulcast are my truths, my beliefs, and it's all based off of what I've learned from others around me, what I've read in books, and what I experienced entirely on my own. Soulcast is here to express, shine light on, and challenge all things mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical. Everything is up for discussion over here, okay? Feel free to email us for topics you'd like us to discuss. It'll be below in every episode details, okay? Now, let's get into the good stuff. I'm Mila Nunez, your host. Let's talk about it. All right, so today is Sunday. Sundays are usually my first days off out of the week. So it's technically my Saturday, right? I'm a day later than everybody else in this world. So I'm tired, y'all. Like, I'm exhausted. I am drained. And I'm also really great. I'm doing all the things I need to do. But I am tired, right? I started working more, giving myself to my job a little bit more so I can get some more income, so I can kind of find some stability and growth in my life and improvements. And so with that, like, giving more of yourself to something that is just only a source of income can be quite an adjustment, energetically wise, for me anyways, because I am someone who loves their solitude and their peace and likes to explore and be free. And so when I give more of my time to a source of income that I have to abide by others' rules, it can be draining. And then also, I recently just got a promotion to become like a supervisor or whatever. And, like, not to say that it's a whole new adjustment because I've been in management positions before. But this was pre-COVID, pre-pandemic, right? And so now that I've tapped into myself a lot more, understanding what makes me feel good, what drains me, becoming more aware, instilling more mindfulness and stillness into my life. It's been quite an adjustment, and I'm not saying it's bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it is bad. So this episode really is just kind of just a little check-in, a wellness check-in with myself. But then I'm sure this people can relate to this, right? My goal is to always keep this podcast as genuine, authentic, and real and raw as possible. So every 2 to 3 episodes or something, I'm gonna check in and be like, okay, y'all, enough of the knowledge, enough of the information. Let me tell you where I'm at, and maybe you at the same place. What can we do to be better? What can we do? Or maybe we just need a vent session, you know? I don't know. But yeah, so I just wonder how everybody's doing. I just want you kind of to just check in with yourself. Feel what strains or discomfort or aches that you're feeling in your body. Take a really deep breath. Feel where it's at. Acknowledge where it's at. And then exhale and just let it go. A few more times, just do it with me. Yeah? Inhale. Fill up your tummy all the way to your hips if you need to. I'm still holding my breath just so y'all know it sounds weird. And then exhale. Let it out. Breathe. Exhale. Sigh. All that. Like, one more time with me. One more time. Last time. Make it deep. Make an intention. And just soak it all in. Breathe in. Hold. Hold till it's really uncomfortable. And let go slowly. Yes, yes, yes. That's what I'm talking about. Breathing is very, very helpful for the brain, for us to be able to function and operate on a more energetic level, right? If we lose oxygen to the brain, our brain starts to quote unquote die and stop, working at a efficient level, right? So that's where anxiety and stress creeps in. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I am not a pro. I am someone who has been practicing this for the past 3 years. And it's still a struggle at times, especially when you're in the midst of things, right? So again, I moved to a whole new fucking place of the country across the way. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm a San Diego, California girl. I am a city girl in the country. What a fucking paradigm shift, right? My world went from up, down, side to side, round and round, like all the crazy fucking roller coasters to like stillness and breath, silence. I look like the crazy person driving around all crazy, all fast, when really I'm going 70 miles in like a 25 mile per hour zone. Like no dead ass. Like, the speed limits are a lot slower out here too. Because like, why do you need to drive that fast when you're going to get to where you need to get to? And it's crazy. It is a whole like mental awareness, like shift and focus, because I start to realize that I am on 10. I'm like, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. I got to do that. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then when I'm here, I realize like I can still go at 25 miles per hour and probably most likely be more successful, and things would be more effective and beneficial when I hit 100 than me going 70 miles per hour running on 25%. You know what I'm saying? And then trying to get to 100 when the work is shit. There's no focus. There's no mental awareness. There's no mindfulness. No groundedness. It's just stress, anxiety, and depression, and all these things, right? Obviously, there's a lot of factors that come into this stuff. But at the end of the day, you get my drift, right? Slowing down, breathing, checking in with yourself is so important. So, so important. At my job, I had a conversation with some of my coworkers. We were just talking about like sleep, right? How sleep is like only 2 hours or this and that, or like we were talking about caffeine intake too, right? Caffeine is considered a drug. No, like we all know this, right? However, it's advertised to keep us going, and there's a percentage of it is good and healthy for you, like a regular cup of coffee. But if we're talking like blonde shots, which is very much higher in caffeine than just a regular shot, or blonde coffee versus regular medium or dark, right? We're talking about like how much consumption and how much you need to, like, it was a very interesting conversation because I was like, wow, like, okay. All right. How do we feel though when we're consuming so much caffeine and so many energy drinks and so many supplements that are meant to keep us wired and up and moving and moving and moving when our body is literally telling us to stop? And I only say this because even this, I've been very serious and very focused on my fitness journey for the past 5-6 weeks now, I think. Getting back into it. And I've been hitting the gym or working out at least 5 days a week. Gym at minimum 3 days a week, right? So I just added lifting and HIIT workouts, high intensity interval training. And I did that on Tuesday. It's Sunday again. On Tuesday, I did leg day and HIIT workout in one day. Don't ask me why. I'm a little insane and I'm very ambitious. I murdered my body. My body was like, bitch, you need to lay the fuck down. You need to stop and just chill and be still, right? But I was drained after that. My body's like, I feel so tired and fatigued, and I'm like, oh my God. And I take this pre-workout. I use Bloom, and it has it's more of a natural approach to pre-workout. However, it's still a supplement that's like being added into my natural body's rhythm and chemical reactions and stuff like that too, right? So either way, it's having an impact on me too. So I do this workout, and then the next day or two, like my body is just shot. My body's like so done. I thought I was ready. I thought I was okay because I was doing cardio every day, 5 days a week, not every day, 5 days a week consistently. And I've been doing, I added a little bit of like lifting for my arms and my legs, just trying to get toned up while I'm like losing weight, right? And so I thought I would be okay, but I added a lot more stress on my body with my promotion and working a lot more hours. And then my sleeping schedule has been adjusting and like switching because my schedule hasn't been consistent. And so now it's just like, there's a lot of added stress, whether mentally I can take it or physically I can take it. That's not what we're talking about, right? Like, we could push our bodies to the limit. We most definitely can. We could surpass and do all of that with the physical bodies, right? However, we do have to take care of our minds. Our mind, I'm not talking about our brain. Our brain is a physical object as well. I'm talking about our minds. Our minds, right? And so how we do that is taking care of our physical. Our physical body, if it's fucking tired and it's telling you to lay down and rest, lay down and rest. I had four friends tell me, it sounds like you need to rest, Mila. Mila, you need to rest. Mila, you need to lay down. Mila, you need to chill. Like, da 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 da. If y'all know me, I have no chill. I am always on the go. I'm always trying to do something new. I'm always trying to gain some more information. I'm always trying to learn. I'm in a whole new city now. So now I'm trying to adventure out and find new things. At the same time, trying to keep that balance of rest, right? And my version of rest is, if I'm going to rest, I am going to sit by myself and hibernate for like a week to myself. I'm not going to text anybody. I'm not going to talk to anybody. I might post on Instagram here and there. I post on Instagram a lot. But I literally can go ghost from the world. Literally. And I think for me, I've learned that can sometimes be like a coping mechanism. And so I try not to do that as much, but I do, And so for me, learning how to keep that balance of rest, right? I get so bored when I am in bed all day. In bed all day. My mind is like, there can be something else that you're doing. There could be this, there could be that. On top of me doing my stillness and my quiet times in the morning when I wake up before I start my day, I'll sit and lay in bed, take 10 deep breaths, silence my mind, prepare my mind for the day, and just, in the dark. And then I do it before bed, and when I can do it before bed, but it still somehow takes a toll on me. And I think it's mainly because like I have been consuming a lot of caffeine. This is where the caffeine comes in, going back to that conversation with my coworkers. So I realized that for me and my body, when I intake a certain amount of caffeine, mind you, I work where I sell coffee, right? And then also if I'm taking my pre-workout to get me started in the gym, that's already, if I take a full scoop, which I don't, but if I do, that's already 200 milligrams of caffeine. Your body doesn't even need that much caffeine at all in a day. You really don't, but because the way the society is structured and how we're supposed to move and how they inflict all these programming into us, that we think that resting is lazy. Let me speak for myself, but based off the conversations I've had and the people I've talked to and read, like, being still doing nothing is considered lazy. But I come out here to the South and that's all they do. And I'm like, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just like, how? Teach me your ways. How do you just chill? But then I've talked to some people here and then I learned that mentally they got a lot of shit going on in their mind. Their mind is, I don't want to say it's fucked up because it's not like that. That's just being a little dramatic, but like their minds, they are not at ease, like there's a lot of things that they haven't faced. This is based off of conversations I've had and, things that I've observed, and just by listening to people and observing, I'm like, huh, okay. Because where I come from and the society that I lived in and I grew up in and the way I move, right? I am constantly moving and doing all these things, finding rest when I can. However, in my mind now, within these past 3 years, I've learned that like I am kind of okay. Like I don't have any, I don't think I have that many fears anymore that are like actually in control of what I say or do, or like dictate like what I want to do and or how I want to live my life. Like I don't think any of that has control over me anymore, which makes me feel free, right? And so when I hear certain things about how like, oh yeah, like I'm just chilling and this and that, but then like mentally when when you hear people talk, you're kind of just like, okay, I see where your mind's at. I see how you perceive and what your perception is of the world. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just taking note and observing and understanding the person that I am conversing with, right? And so it gives you some insight on like what mindfulness and what like rest means to other people, or like the different perceptions and perspectives on it. Like though there can be someone who's resting is like, oh, I'm going to go to the beach, vibe out, chill under the sun, go into the water. That's my version of resting. Reading a book all day in my room or on my patio, because that's my version of resting. There are people who I will smoke a whole ounce and vibe out to music in my room because that's my version of resting. There's people who are like, let me cook and let me vibe out in my own apartment, music loud. Maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. That's my version of resting. What is right? What is the right version of resting? What is the correct or accurate way, right? And then it all just comes down to us, right? This episode's going to like a huge turn, but it's also like a whole 180 and a 360, So it's just like checking in with yourself. What do you need to make yourself or allow yourself to feel and be rested? What is it going to take for you to mentally be at peace? What is it going to have to be in order for your soul to be free? What are the actions that you need to take to ensure that you're living a healthier and happier life based off of your beliefs and what you are desiring out of this life, right? And so these are kind of the things that I've been reflecting on this past week, or these, honestly, the past month. The month is coming to an end and we're reaching October, and this is fall season now. And like, I love change. I love adjustments. I love learning. So I am constantly like trying to evolve as many times as I can. Because why stay the same? Why keep doing the same things? Or why do the same things the same way when I can just, I tried this. Let me try it a different way, but with this perspective. Let me try this again, but let me do it this way. You know what I'm saying? And so like checking in with yourself, seeing if you need to rest, seeing if you need more water, seeing if you need to just go out into the sun and just chill. Maybe you just need silence away from your phone. Turn your phone off for an hour. Turn the TV off for an hour and sit there and no like music. Just sit with yourself and breathe. Tap in and tune in. Go inward. See what you need. And then reflect and see how it felt. It's going to feel weird. I promise you. It can feel weird. It can feel enlightening. It can feel awkward. It can feel refreshing and rejuvenating. It can feel scary. However, don't knock it until you try it. How are you doing? What do you want within the next week or within the next month or the next year that's coming in January? Thank you for listening to me talk and just kind of question and just, be in tune with y'all and just check in. Yeah, I love you guys. I hope you all really Spend a little bit more time loving on yourself because you deserve it. You're worthy. And how do I want to say this without kind of sounding cliche and stuff like that, right? You are a divine individual. You are astonishing. You are out of this world. You are more than this physical realm, and your mind and your heart is pure. So let's find what can you do to tap back into that divinity? What can you do to tap back into that love and that life that's going to be healing, not just for you, but for those who you keep around you? You know, how can you spread light within and without? How can we be a little bit less stressed? How can we be a little more happy? How can we evolve and change just a little bit? I'm not asking you to, open up a homeless center. I'm asking you to kind of just remove and release things that just aren't benefiting to the happiness and the love and the lights and the healing life that you want. All right, y'all. Next week.